Remember, if you would like to read along as you listen to the video today, press the CC button right near where you pressed play. I love taking walks with my dog. We follow the same path, but what we see is very different. Just like Tucker and I, when two characters are in the same story, they don't necessarily have the same point of view. Our first learning goal today is I can acknowledge differences in characters' points of view. To determine a character's point of view, we need to stop and analyze what's happening in the story. What is the character doing? What is the character thinking? What are they feeling? You will want to make two character charts that look just like this, one for City Mouse and one for Country Mouse. We will be revisiting our characters from last week. Listen to the story and stop as needed to fill in your chart. The Country Mouse and the City Mouse. One sunny spring day, City Mouse went to visit his cousin in the country. Country Mouse was happy to see his cousin. He made a bed of straw in the barn. "Why, you can sleep here," he told City Mouse. He gathered seeds. "And here are some seeds to eat," said Country Mouse. "Why, I don't see how you can eat this food," said City Mouse. "And how can you possibly sleep in straw? Yuck! Come to the city with me, and I'll show you how to live." The two mice set off for town. It was late when they came to the house where City Mouse lived. City Mouse showed his cousin a nest of cotton rags. "This is where we will sleep," he said. "But let's eat before we go to bed." City Mouse led his cousin to the dining room. Soon the mice were eating bread crusts, peas, and cake. While the mice were eating, danger was coming closer. Suddenly, they heard a loud snarl. "Meow! It's the cat!" shouted the City Mouse. In the blink of an eye, the cat pounced. The mice scampered off the table and ran into a hole in the wall. Country Mouse could feel his heart pounding. "Why, as soon as that cat is gone, I'm going home." "Why are you going so soon?" asked City Mouse. "It's better to eat seeds in a safe place," said Country Mouse, "than to eat cake where there is danger." And off he went. You may want to read the story one more time on your own before you start filling out your chart. The story can be found on the next slide or in your packet. Well, I want to show you what I've filled out on my chart so far, just within the first part of the story. At the very beginning, Country Mouse was happy. So I did add that to my chart. He's happy to see his cousin. The actions: he made a bed of straw. He gathered seeds. He told his City Mouse that he could sleep there. He also said, "Here are some seeds to eat." Just from the beginning of the story, I have several things about Country Mouse here on my chart. Some of the things that I've learned already about Country Mouse are not directly in the story. When I see him making a bed of straw, gathering seeds, that tells me that he's generous. So I'm going to add that to my chart. He is offering what he has to his cousin. And right away, City Mouse seems to complain. He says, "I don't see how you can eat this food. How can you sleep in the straw? Come to the city with me and I will show you how to live." He's complaining. So I'm going to make a note to myself and add to the chart. He's complaining about the country. And now that I've written that, it leads me to think back to Country Mouse. How do you suppose he's feeling when he is offering everything he has to his cousin, but his cousin just complains? I'm wondering, are his feelings hurt? Are Country Mouse's feelings hurt? My feelings would be hurt. But then I also wonder, maybe he's curious. What is the city like? Because right away, City Mouse offers to take Country Mouse to the city. I've decided to make my chart into before and after. Before they went to the city and after. So remember how we saw right at the beginning, Country Mouse was happy. But as I listened, I don't hear anything else where the author tells us how the animals are feeling until we get to see this sentence. Country Mouse could feel his heart pounding. I don't know about you, but when my heart is pounding, that often means that I'm scared. And if we look at that sentence again, it says, Country Mouse could feel his heart pounding. What do you suppose City Mouse is feeling? Well, it says while the mice were eating, danger was coming closer. So that's a clue to me as the listener or the reader that something is going to happen that may not be the best plan for the mice. And then I hear City Mouse shout, "It's the cat!" And they heard a loud snarl. And I want you to notice that my chart has scribbles on it. It has doodles. It has lots of marks on it because that's how my brain is working as I'm listening to the story. Pause the video here and finish completing your chart throughout the rest of the story. Remember, reread or listen if you would like. Now that we've filled out our chart, it's time to use the chart to help us figure out each character's point of view. Take a minute and look at your charts. Well, one thing I noticed right away is I think City Mouse is acting a bit rude. I also think he feels like the city is better. And we know that Country Mouse doesn't feel safe in the city. So I think he thinks that the city is not a good place to be. Now we can use what we have learned from our character chart to determine the point of view. Country Mouse likes simple things. He wants to feel safe. He does not like the city. City Mouse likes fancy things, even if there are dangers like the cat to avoid. He likes. Great job analyzing characters and determining points of view. Today's lesson is sponsored by these amazing Olathe teachers who never stop reading.